What is Cloud doing?
Beats me.
By the way, you three, who are you?
Hey guys, welcome to my breakdown on Sephiroth. I haven't done one of these in a while, but I realized that I hadn't done one on Sephiroth yet, and I was honestly kind of surprised. These fights were so iconic and a little terrifying to chance upon. As a kid who didn't play Final Fantasy growing up, this was just a mysterious being cloaked in dark feathers that had some strange connection to Cloud. I was really intrigued by the connection, and getting those hints at a deeper story finally catapulted me into Final Fantasy VII. Sephiroth in this game is so incredibly powerful, and he zips across the screen so quickly, mulching your health bar in seconds if you aren't properly prepared. Somehow I dropped the ball on covering these iconic fights, and I've been on a KHT kick lately, so I decided to do a video on Sephiroth's attacks and animations from Kingdom Hearts 2. Welcome to my Sephiroth animation breakdown. Now this fight is broken up into 3 parts, with Sephiroth adding on a couple different attacks and variations with each phase. It's pretty apparent when he shifts phases because he will have a specific voice line like this one for his first transition.
It's over!
Know your place.
And then phase 3, which also has a unique powering up animation that gives him an aura.
All shall be one.
What we'll do for this video is go through each animation, noting how it changes throughout the phases. Flash is the first attack that Sephiroth opens with. Sephiroth dashes forward, striking through Sora. Air swirls around Sephiroth as he finally stops, before Sora is sliced apart by multiple strikes. There's an interesting rainbow effect as circular slash effects appear, dealing dozens of hits. The effects for this really contrast the dark wind and effects of Sephiroth, which is a really interesting touch. Purple and green shards fly out as well during the attack. All in all, it's a really visually appealing animation that also feels really powerful with Sephiroth's quick and simple movements. What is even more impressive is the reaction command associated with this. Sora blocks each attack, and the way he flips around pairing each incoming strike is so impressive. My mouth dropped when I slowed down the footage. He even at the end jumps into the air blocking the attacks before landing in a crouch position. This attack doesn't really change throughout the phase changes. An interesting thing to note is that this name Flash was probably the first iteration of what would become known as Scintilla in future titles. Scintilla is Italian for spark or to make a flash, so it's cool to see the continuity throughout the different series. The next attack is Octaslash, an iconic part of Sephiroth's toolkit. It's a swift multi-hitting combo, though even counting the spinning strikes, I only see 7 hits. That is until Sephiroth is in phase 3, where he adds onto this usually with a dashing spin attack before moving into the combo. The actual combo doesn't change throughout the phases, but the reach of it grows as Sephiroth can cover more and more ground with each phase change. Really, there's not much to show off with this one, but the actual animation slowdown looks really impressive. The animation is incredibly dynamic as we see Sephiroth change from one-handed to two-handed slashes, which is really impressive to see done so smoothly. Sephiroth's aerial attack is pretty simple, with Sephiroth starting by teleporting behind Sora and doing a slash upwards to hit him into the air. Sephiroth will then do a 3-hit combo before teleporting and repeating it multiple times. I love this whirling slash he does for the second hit. It just looks so clean and it follows up perfectly with the last hit. Shadow Flare gets introduced in phase 2 of the fight and can take 2 variations but essentially works out the same. Orbs spawn around Sora and follow him. After a bit of time, the orbs move in to damage him. The variation is either a large ring or 3 orbs. The variation with the 3 orbs spawning collapses much more quickly than the ring does. You can interact with these as well, either by running into them, which will damage you, or by hitting them, which will cause them to shoot off in the direction you hit them. When they are flying out, they can actually damage Sephiroth, which is a nice little strategy. This is usually paired up with his other attacks, making you have to potentially change up your strategies in order to not get hit out of punishing his openings. Stigma is the flame pillar attack, which is not too crazy of an animation. Sephiroth will stand in the center of flame pillars that spawn, raising a hand skyward. Sora will slowly be sucked into the pillars of fire that is pretty easy to run away from it. It's a very cool looking animation with darkness surrounding the flames spawned. Black is the color of Geostigma, and fire can be a representation of hatred, rage, or suffering. So this being after the movie of Advent Children, this could be just a nod to Geostigma. I'm not quite sure on that. A huge thank you to Sleep Easy actually for consulting me on that, because I was a little confused on why the name was Stigma. But yeah, if you guys have any insights, I would love to hear about it down below in the comments. Heartless Angel is next and has Sephiroth teleporting and rising into the sky. He raises an arm up before pointing his palm out at Sora, causing a halo to appear over his head. An explosion then hits Sora, depleting his health and MP. He will always follow this up with Scintilla after this attack. Meteor is Sephiroth's Phase 3 ultimate attack, calling down multiple meteors that lock on Sora. These explode in wide AoEs as they hit the ground. There's not much going on in terms of animation, though Sephiroth does rise into the air, raising his hand with his typical meteor summon we have seen in other iterations. He also has a unique magic aura around his hand. And that's really it for the Sephiroth fight. He has a lot of subtle details going on, which I'm always a fan of. Things like his teleport leaving black feathers, or his hit effects having this cool light and darkness effect, just such cool details. I've always loved these Final Fantasy fights being in the endgame of Kingdom Hearts, and I really hope we see some more in the future. Anyways, that is all I have for you guys today. As always, if I missed something, please let me know down in the comments below. If you have a particular fight or character you would like to see a breakdown on, let me know down below. I loved coming back to this format, and I definitely want to do more in the future. So for those of you that remember these back in the day, hopefully this was a wave of nostalgia for you, and hopefully I'll do some more in the future. I know a lot of people, I still get comments from time to time, want the days breakdowns to come back. If I can find a good format for that I can get done pretty quickly, then I would love to do that. Anyways, a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members who support me. If you want to see videos early or get access to exclusive game nights, consider becoming a member today. Click the cards on screen to see some other breakdowns, and subscribe or share this video, and I will see you in the next one.